Here are the guitars that I make. I tend to use mahogany as my base. It's just a fantastic lumber to work with and has great acoustic tones. For this next guitar, I haven't quite decided if I'm going to use mahogany or black limba for the neck, so I'm going to cut a couple pieces of each, and then later I'll decide which one is going to be the best fit cosmetically. I'll be using a solid block of mahogany for the base, so we're just going to cut it out, and then later I'll use a router to hollow out the body. On these inside curves, I tend to put small slices that I will then come in from the edges to clear out. I use templates on pretty much all of my components. I either buy them pre-cut or I'll use a existing instrument that I have and just trace it and get my dimensions and proportions. I'll go ahead and cut out blanks of mahogany and black limba for this guitar neck. So if I don't use it for this project, I'll use it for another one. Wow, isn't that some gorgeous lumber? I'll find a position on my plates of wood that get the best grain content and allows me for multiple uses of my lumber. I'm going to leave a little extra on the outside. This lumber still needs to go through the planer to get down to thickness, and I might make some adjustments later. So welcome to the wood shop. All right. Well, welcome to step one, rough cuts. So this is where we take our rough sawn lumber and we start getting our general dimensions. Takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of prep. I always use templates to see exactly what my layout is going to be. Sometimes I don't always know a particular lumber until I get to that step and go, maybe I do want to try something different. I had a pretty good idea with this project though. It's been in my mind for quite a while, so it's pretty exciting to be able to do this one. A while back, some friends of mine over at Green Valley Lumber came up with this really unusual waterfall black limba. So I've got all sorts of mahogany already, and it's in the same species of lumber, all comes from Africa. So what I was wanting to build was a hollow Telecaster guitar with a black limba top and a mahogany neck. And that's what we're going to do. So this project is going to be exactly that. So what we ended up with our rough sawn lumber is I will have a solid blank of mahogany that will end up being planed down to thickness. It'll end up being about 1 3/4 inches. And then I will use a router to hollow out all of the space that I don't need so that it gets a little bit more of an acoustic style sound to it. And then when we're all done, I will do the same thing with the black limba. I'll run it through the planer, get the thickness down properly, down to around 1/4 inch or so for this particular job. So I'll have a matched black limba top. And out of that big chunk of mahogany, I was able to get 2 different necks out of it. They're still way over thickness, but those will get planed down as well. So it'll end up with a mahogany neck as well. And it's a pretty dense mahogany, so I think it'll work fine. I don't think I'll have to add any kind of additional fingerboard. If I decide that I want a more dense, a harder fingerboard on it, I might go with some ebony. But I think for this application, our mahogany is going to end up working fine because it has a density pretty similar to maple, which we've used for Telecasters since they were created. So the mahogany I think will work out just fine. We'll end up using jumbo frets. I've already got some Spurzl locking tuners, and we'll go with traditional hardware for this, all in gold, the traditional style. And binding, when we're done, I'll end up doing a mahogany, and I don't know what else I'm going to use just yet. I may end up using some synthetic material for an additional binding. So I may have some multiple layers on my binding edge. But the back, the mahogany, I'm just going to route it and give it some nice, smooth, cornered edges. So it's going to be a really cool looking instrument when it's all finished. And thanks for joining me.